Hello and welcome to The Trials, the system playtest podcast from the RPG Academy. I am Michael, and this is The Trial of Shadows of the Demon Lord, episode number 2, Have a Nice Trip. So in this episode, our characters had made it through the dark forest and had arrived at the not working lighthouse, and we're just about to step inside to see what has caused it to stop working. So here is The Trial of Shadows of the Demon Lord, episode number 2, Have a Nice Trip.
And the lighthouse is still unlit.
And the lighthouse is still unlit, yep.
Does it look like we can get out to that area relatively easily?
Yeah, so the rocks that sort of jut out, they're probably slippery because there's constantly waves crashing against them and that sort of thing. But I mean, it's a straight shot from here to there, yeah.
Does there appear to be any immediate threat or danger to us?
Not that you can see.
And to further look at that, like with my soldier profession, like does it seem like this is kind of like a choke point type ambush or any kind of?
It definitely seems like it was set up this way intentionally. It's very very much the lighthouse would be easy to protect if someone were to assault it. You don't see anything that indicates that is currently what's happening. You don't see any signs that there's an ambush waiting for you. But certainly, if you were to, make a full frontal assault on the lighthouse, there would be the one path that you'd be kind of funneled down. And so anybody who wanted to would be able to kind of pick you off from there. Yeah.
Okay.
I will look down to my two shorter, sneakier companions. What do you guys think?
I say we keep going.
Maybe we send the small ones in, and I can provide cover from quite some distance.
Yeah, because your talent with that bow is awe-inspiring and fear-inducing to our enemies.
You want me to see if I can hit you from here?
I'm not sure about that.
All right.
About how far away from us right now is the lighthouse?
It's probably about 100 yards. Going, down sort of the grassy area, down this slope and out across the rocks.
Oh well, all right. Let's go. Let's give it a shot. I will.
All right. You leading the way?
Yeah, I will lead the way. I will grab my goblin friend, throw him on my shoulders, and very quickly dash ahead so that Halfling cannot grab onto me.
Well, I was actually going to say I'm gonna unharness anyways and pull out my bow as well.
Okay.
And also be ready for something if it happens.
And I'm gonna trail behind. I'm gonna trail behind the group about 20 yards.
Okay.
Just watch behind us and kind of provide any kind of cover.
Okay. All right. So in that setup, you guys sort of make a run for the lighthouse, and you are relieved to find that you actually make it to the foot of the lighthouse uneventfully. It seems that whatever may be in store for you, it's in there rather than out here. And you can see that the lighthouse is actually not very tall for a lighthouse. It looks like it's probably just 2 stories. The lower story is a big octagonal-shaped structure, and then above it is sort of the glass chamber from which the light should be coming out of the lighthouse. You can faintly see up in that second story sort of glassed-in area what looks like a giant prism that you think is probably what would be emitting the light of the lighthouse were it on. But obviously the prism is dark and dull. And there is a single wooden door in front of you leading into the lighthouse.
Hey, Tarvis, why don't you throw No Boxed up there and see what he can see on the inside the top level?
Hey, I don't like being thrown.
Toss.
Down. I
Toss.
look for traps. Look for traps. Very good.
Yeah, that's a pretty far toss. I'm not quite that good.
How far would it be to get him to like a ledge? Like I have mind over matter, so I can actually move creatures.
Okay.
Can I toss him up or not even toss, but move him, I guess, gently?
Yeah. What is the range on that?
Number of yards equal to 1 plus your power. Oh, so that's not very far.
Yeah, so you can only move it 2 yards.
All right, so I guess that's all right. Well, maybe you can throw him, and if he needs like a little boost at the end, I can.
Yeah,
I
nudge
can
him.
help out.
No, I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't throw our party members.
Yeah.
Well, wait, it says the distance, but it doesn't say the time over which it moves me that distance. Did you move me 2 yards over the time span of an eighth of a second, and then I just retain my inertia and catapult up?
True, it doesn't account for acceleration.
Yeah, let's see.
And welcome, Nat, to Scott being the smartest one in the group.
Applying real world physics to magic spells, yeah.
You've already met Michael, who's the asshole.
I resemble that remark.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I don't think you could use it to like get him up to supersonic speed or anything like that, but you could probably give him a shove.
Yeah, probably not how they intended that spell to work. So I guess I'll go over by the door, and I will use the like this is a 0 spell anyway, so I'll just use it to open up the door, while staying further away from it, so we can.
Yeah, sure. So you stay a few yards safely back and use your telekinetic power to shove the door open. The door swings open, revealing that beyond is a large chamber. It looks like it takes up the entire lower floor. You can see directly in front of you, you can see the side of what looks like a huge mirror that is tilted up sort of at a 45-degree angle, so tilted up almost towards the ceiling. And it looks like there are a bunch of other shapes sort of scattered around the room as well. At this point, I will pause and ask, can anybody tell me how I can show you all a picture?
God damn it, we're in the light dungeon in Zelda.
We're in the octagon.
So looking at this this diagram that I've posted up, assuming somebody is brave enough to actually head into the bottom floor of the lighthouse.
Real quick before we head in, and this
Absolutely.
is just a little side thing, I would like to use my prestidigitation cantrip to maybe kick up a little burst of air and dust to see if there's any tripwire or catch plates that I can notice to step on as I walk into the tower.
So you're going to crop dust the first level.
All right, I'm going to throw something at you.
Yeah, so you kick up sort of a puff of dust, and it doesn't seem to settle in any weird, unexpected ways. It looks like the floor of this level is made of hardwood flooring or planks, so they're all a bit uneven, but nothing that you wouldn't expect.
So we're coming in from the south side of this picture?
Yeah, so you're actually coming in from the east side. Yeah, and assuming somebody is stepping in there now, it does appear to be safe. I'll go ahead and kind of describe the scene as you see it.
I'm overly confident. I will step in.
Are we entering where that symbol is on the map, or actually from the right side of the map?
From the actual right side of the map, as though you're coming from off the map. Yep.
I will happily let the halfling walk in first.
All right. So the halfling steps in first.
And dies.
And nothing terrible happens to him, sadly for a party member. Happily for him. And so what you see is this entire large octagonal chamber. That big symbol right in the center is a huge mirror, huge round mirror that's tilted back 45 degrees. So it is sort of halfway pointed at a big hole in the ceiling. And in fact, sort of circling the mirror and spiraling up into that hole is a spiral staircase. So that would be your access to the floor above. And then it looks like the mirror kind of points up through that hole as well. And you can kind of peeking your head out and peering up there, you can see that the prism that you saw from the outside is suspended directly above this hole. All the rectangular markings are smaller mirrors. They are all identical, large, sort of metal, heavy, like wrought iron frames that seem to be set into the floor, bolted down, something like that, of mirrors all kind of pointing in different directions. And the little symbol on the south wall there looks like actually a lantern. It is currently shuttered, but it's sort of a directional lantern, like a bullseye lantern. And you can faintly hear, coming from the floor above, It's quietly like a giggling or a chuckling, so just sort of like coming from above you.
No box, is this where you're from?
I think we leave. I'm done.
We break all the mirrors and then leave.
Yep.
We sell everything for as much as we can, retire, and start new lives at opening.
Yep.
Sandwiches are worth this.
All I can hear is the sound of my sanity ticking down.
We become bootleggers. I'm a brewmaster. They don't allow alcohol here. It's a perfect situation.
Salt and burn.
I agree with that.
I salt the lighthouse and burn it to the ground.
So I'm assuming that we probably need to adjust the mirrors in the correct angles to get the light to shine through and to the prism.
So do the mirrors themselves move, or are they stationary?
Looks like the mirrors are pretty stationary. They're all heavy and bolted down.
Okay, and then the lantern in the south side, that's also stationary. It just has a shutter that's closed on it.
Yeah, it's sort of a scaled up version of a regular bullseye lantern, so it's pretty big as well. It looks like it doesn't really want to go anywhere. And the shutters are on the north face, so it looks like if you were to open the shutters, there would be a beam of light coming out to the north.
Can you use your mind magic to do that from here?
Yeah, I should be able to. Yeah, I mean, I assume it's smaller than a size 1 person. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah,
wait. The way the mirrors are set up now, it's going to blast the beam of light out into the walls.
Well, the mirrors are stationary, so it should bounce around the mirrors and end up back at the center thing, assuming that
it won't, though, if we look at the pattern.
No, if the light shines straight north, then the light ends up off onto the left side wall.
Right.
Right, but the mirrors aren't movable?
Correct.
All right, so I want to look at one or two of these mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out if basically they were installed after the fact. Like they were put there to disrupt the light. Because it looks to me like the torch is supposed to shine straight into that mirror and then go up the lighthouse to the crystals, right?
Yeah,
Some sadist put all these mirrors in here.
So a couple of things to answer your questions. The immediate answer is it actually looks like these mirrors have been here for a while. They're sort of heavy iron, rusted in some places, definitely look like they've been sitting here for a long time. Some of them are a little bit dusty. However, the big mirror in the center, it's sort of a, what's what I'm looking for, like a hemispherical shape almost. So it has like a mirrored side and then a dull side. And the mirrored side that would reflect light and send it up through that hole is pointing towards the north. So you think that sort of original instinct that you'd have to use these other mirrors to get a beam of light kind of around to hit it be correct, but it looks like you're going to have to hit it from the north coming down to the south, if that makes sense.
Even though all the mirrors can't be moved that we've seen.
Correct.
Are there any holes or gaps of empty bolts that indicate there are one or two mirrors that have been removed?
It looks like no mirrors have been removed, but you do see that in a couple of places some of the glass in the mirrors looks brand new, as though perhaps some mirrors were generally empty, but the glass had been replaced.
So maybe some of them are frames and there should not be mirrors there.
Yeah, that's the sense you're getting. But the other very important thing that you notice as you were doing all this examination is that looking into each of these mirrors, you do not actually see your reflection staring out at you. In fact, as you look into the mirrors, it looks like each of them is a portal into a perhaps different part of the same world, perhaps a different pocket dimension. Hard to know, but you can see sort of faintly either shapes moving around within the mirrors or static shapes that don't match the reflection of what's in the room with you, that sort of thing. And you think you could, with closer inspection, try to make out kind of what's in each of these mirrors, but it's definitely not what should be reflected there.
Nope. Don't inspect the mirrors. Nope.
Yeah. For the record, I did not look in any mirror.
Nope. I refuse to make a spot check.
So
Do both
Before we
sides
go
of the-
upstairs and fight the creepy cackling thing, do we have to solve the mirror puzzle, or do we have to go deal with the cackling thing, because otherwise it will come down and unsolve the puzzle and our butts?
Well, first question. Even though we see weird things in the mirrors, do they still function as normal mirrors, so they reflect light in the way that we expect them to based on physics?
How are you testing this?
Hey, guy who makes light.
Yes, guy who carries party.
So if Taryn fires up a fireball and holds it like a torch at one of the mirrors randomly, does it reflect the light?
So are you going to do that, Taryn?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So yeah, you fire up one of your little fireballs, and indeed,
Maybe we
no,
shouldn't
it's
do
not
this.
reflected back because, of course, these mirrors seem to be acting more as portals right now. So nothing is reflecting back, but it does actually look as though the bit of light that your fireball casts is passing through the mirror into whatever this world is beyond. And so you think that any light is actually passing through the mirror into any of these zones beyond.
So do both sides of the mirror or the apparatus have mirrors on them?
Yeah, each of these standing mirrors is mirrored on both sides, and if you look on either side, it looks like it passes through to the same sort of vague area.
So
And
if the goblin's bored and he has some rocks, and he throws some rocks at one of the mirrors, just maybe not the kind of rock that would break a mirror, more like the kind of rock that would chink off a mirror and scuff it up and get someone to kick you out of their mirror store really quick.
Oh, that kind of rock, right?
Mirror store experience.
Very specific rock.
Yeah. What happens? Do I get kicked out of the store?
If you theoretically were to do something like that.
If I theoretically were to actually just right this second do that while no one's paying attention to the goblin. Yes.
Good question. So yeah, the mirror or the rock passes through the mirror into whatever is beyond.
So are we now thinking that if we shine the light through this portal, it's actually going to come out a different portal, and it's not actually like a reflection physics puzzle? It's more of a if-then there puzzle?
So if I stand by one of the mirrors and I've got I've got the flame going on one side of it, somebody else stands on the other side of that same thing. Do they see the light coming through it, or do they see anything? Like, what do you see on the other side of the same thing?
Yeah, it's very confusing because they're not seeing your light pass through the pane the way you would normally expect. They're just also seeing a portal into whatever other dimension, but you are casting light into that other dimension, so they can kind of see your light going into that other world a little bit. But they're basically seeing the same thing you're seeing, despite being on the other side.
Are the other dimensions also full of mirrors into other dimensions?
You'd have to examine a little more closely to figure that out.
I'm pretty sure I'd lose sanity if I discovered that, so I'm attempting to actively not discover that.
Okay. What if? And bear with me, guys. This might be kind of crazy, but what if the thing that's laughing upstairs is making this happen? Maybe that thing is responsible for the portals.
I think that thing came out of one of these mirrors and murdered the mage.
Oh, that's possible too. I liked Thorne's idea that maybe it has to bounce through these portals in the right order. It's not just a straight physics mirror puzzle.
Question, but do the portals the mirrors seem big enough that like a goblin could fit through one?
Yeah, a goblin or a human or a
Or a halfling maybe?
Yeah, they're like full length person sized mirrors, so any one of you can easily pass through.
So I think we bypass all the mirrors and we just have Taryn act like the Human Torch in front of the last one just to see what happens, and then we can just like leave him here forever.
But we know that his light doesn't reflect normally. It goes through the portal.
Right, but I'm saying bypass all the portals and have him shoot his light directly into the center mirror, bypassing all the options in the middle and just going straight to the source.
Yeah, so what if yeah, that's a good idea. What if, okay, so go outside and see if, like, the lighthouse turns on, and I'll, like, shine my fireball, like, right into the middle huge reflecting mirror.
Yeah, so you do that, and you see that as you would sort of hope, it does look like that huge mirror in the center is kind of reflecting the light from your fireball up through that hole and to the prism above. But the fireball just being sort of a small sphere, the light isn't very focused.
Your balls aren't big enough.
Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily be able to just stand there for the rest of your life and light this lighthouse. But it does seem that the effect you are looking for is what happens.
You don't know my dedication. This could be my calling, I guess.
Well, you need to be a lot brighter and probably a more focused beam of light somehow.
All right.
All right. I vote we go upstairs and see what's up there.
Well, if we break those mirrors, if we break those two south mirrors, the north flank thing should just go right into the mirror. Oh, it's got to come from the north, though.
Yeah, it's
because it just happens to work out. If you broke the south side of the most southern mirror there, so the light passed straight up and then hits the next mirror, it would all line up, and then you would have your mirror powered from the north.
There are certainly options, but let's go get murdered by the cackling thing upstairs so that we don't have to solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
Well, but it's true, because if we solve the puzzle, but then we all die by the cackling thing, then it doesn't matter. And if we die by the cackling thing first, then it didn't matter if we solved the puzzle. So the cackling thing is the priority.
Yep.
As long as we die, I think mission accomplished.
Exactly. How can we die as quickly as possible with doing the least amount of work? The American way.
I jump off the cliff.
I stand in front of the flame.
I botch my sneak roll to go upstairs and see what the cackling thing is.
all right. So you go clumping up the
Natural
stairs.
20!
Oh.
Ooh, very nice. All right. So you go sneaking up the stairs like a sneaky guy, and you find yourself in the upper chamber of the lighthouse. Directly above you, sort of suspended by thin filaments of wire, is the prism that presumably should be reflecting this light out all around, but is currently dull. And sitting in the entire room, it's another octagonal chamber, obviously smaller than the one below, paned entirely in glass, of course, so the light from the beacon can theoretically shine out. Sitting at the far wall of glass, looking out over the sea, you see the shape of an old man. He is wearing very traditional blue wizard robes. He is sitting cross-legged with his back to you. You can see that he has an excellent vantage point looking all up and down the coastline, and you can see that there are, as you were sort of told, multiple shipwrecks on the coast below. And you can see not only just, broken boards and chunks of hull and that kind of stuff, but corpses as well, sort of scattered along the rocks, clearly long dead, being washed by the waves. And he appears to be just gazing out on this and just giggling to himself at the wreckage.
I'll kind of sort of reach out a hand. I know I'm not close enough to touch him, but as if I'm trying to touch him, and I'll say, Grandpa?
And at that, he sort of slowly turns, and you can see that he actually shares some familial resemblance to the innkeep. So you are pretty sure you found your man, but his face is twisted with wicked madness, and he looks at you with just like total insanity in his eyes, and he says, "Have you come to be sacrifices as well?"
I'm actually just trying to get into your granddaughter's pants, and she sent me here.
Why? What? Why would she send you to bother me?
She's worried about you.
Why? You townspeople, you all bother me. Leave me alone.
With my Arcanist background, do I know, is this what, a wizard who's been affected by corruption would look like?
Yeah.
Or I guess maybe that's just common knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely looks like an old wizard, and he definitely looks like he's been affected by something. You know what? Give me an intellect roll.
No. 7.
Yeah, he's definitely gone crazy, but you can't quite put your finger on what's wrong with him.
Can I try that too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sure I don't want to put my finger on him. He's probably sitting in his own poop.
Crazy juice all over him.
What's my intellect? Oh, damn it, I just missed it. Got a 9.
You feel like you've seen this somewhere before, you heard about it, or you read about it or something, but you just can't quite figure out what's wrong with this dude.
And he's the only one up here on this,
Yeah,
top of this
he's
tower
alone up here, just sitting by the glass window and just laughing at the wreckage.
I say, I know what's wrong with him. He's not dead enough yet. And I pull out my rapier and gesture at him. You know, I
Okay.
assume he's turned back to look at the wreckage, and so from
Yeah.
behind him, I'm like, looking at everybody else to make sure this is okay that I murder this old man.
Hold on.
Yeah, so the
Hold
bunch
on,
of you
little-
have been examining, and he got bored with you, and so he turned back, and he's just giggling to himself again.
Hold on, little buddy. I push the goblin back. I will walk within a
Come
few.
on, murder's the only thing we're good at.
Not apparently from the last combat we were in.
While they're talking, I'm going to run downstairs.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk within a couple yards of the old man. Hey there, old man. Did you put the lighthouse out?
Of course I did. What are you, an idiot?
How'd
I'll
you
yell
do it?
up, yes, he is!
Shut up. Were you getting? Did you do it to get sacrifices to the demon lord?
Pah, the demon lord, and he spits, and he says, I serve a different master, or I should say, mistress. I serve Alula the deified, one of the greatest devil queens.
Oh, Alula. Yeah, I'm totally down with her too. We're bros, man. Go Alula.
Then you know that she is greedy for sacrifice. Come, help me. Kill your companions, and we can sit here together and work and look out on her great works.
Well, that's totally cool, and I'll definitely do that later. But there's another lighthouse down the way a little bit that Alula wants me to do the same thing that you did here. So how about you tell me exactly what you did step by step, so I can duplicate it.
What I did? Why, all I did was to give over control of the mirrors to Alula herself. And that way, they were not working anymore, and her spirits can live there forever.
Oh yeah. I mean that totally makes sense, because right, Alula, sure.
Yes, you simply must let her into your heart, and she will do the rest.
Your changes to the mirror has started to fail, and I'll use like my historian and arcanist background to know something about Alulu.
Okay.
And like she has sent me to tell you that the portals to the mirrors no longer function correctly. We
What?
need to increase whatever it is you've done.
What do you mean they don't function correctly? They were working perfectly last time I went downstairs.
The portals no longer function. What have you done? And then I'll use a minor magical trick to make the room thunder and some
Okay.
flame.
I'll totally help him out with that. Double cantrip action.
Yeah.
All right. So you intimidate the shit out of this old wizard, and a look of panic crosses his face. And it's a terrible look, but at least he doesn't look totally insane for a moment. And he leaps to his feet and hitches up his robes and goes running down the stairs. And Michael, he passes you on the stairs actually as you do that.
I'm just for a second. I'm going to stop and did he kill all of them already? I haven't been gone that long.
Yeah, and you can all hear him muttering to himself.
Follow
Muttering
that
to
wizard.
himself from
Follow that
downstairs.
wizard.
I guess I'll just. Well, it's a circular stairway, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to trip the old dude and just let him kill himself on the stairwell.
No, we need him to explain to us.
I was trying to get step-by-step instructions from this asshole.
Give me an agility roll.
Okie dokie.
This is not how you get in his granddaughter's pants.
Well, you never know.
That's true.
Funerals can make girls horny.
I got a 10 on the die and a +3 for my ability.
All right, so yeah, you easily trip the helpless old man as he is rushing down the stairs.
Why do we get these good rolls when we don't need them?
Yeah, where was this when you were fighting that phantom? But yeah, he lets out sort of like a whoa, and just goes tumbling head over heels down the stairs. Does numerous somersaults, and you hear a sharp and heart-rending crack as he hits the bottom. He is not moving. Gain 1 corruption.
What? I killed an old man who was corrupted by the devil. How's that bad?
Because he was an old man who was corrupted by the devil. You don't kill them, you save them. Jerk.
I will rush down the stairs to check on the old man.
I'm gonna trip him too.
Yeah,
I'll come down the stairs and be like, "All right, Thorn, did you see what the old man?" Oh,
God
Yeah,
damn
What
it,
was the
Thorn.
demon's name that he mentioned
one
again?
direction and his head is facing the other, and he's staring up wide-eyed and not moving.
Totally dead.
What was the
Mhm.
what was the demon he mentioned his name again? Anila?
Alula?
Alula, I'll check it
Alula.
out.
I'll walk down the stairs, the last one, and I'm myself. Whatever Alula wants, Alula gets. Da 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 da.
Her name was Lula. She was a demon. Sorry.
So we open up. We start a band.
I get corruption for that, right? I feel like I should have some.
Sanity.
Yep, I feel like I should have some corruption. Okay, so the old man's dead. Damn it, Thorn. If Thorn tries to trip me, I'm just gonna step over him and kick him as I walk down.
I will go over to the old man and see if he's actually dead, and maybe if I can, if he's not actually dead, maybe help him.
He's just supposed to be dead.
No, he's like head backwards.
Dead. All
Game of
right.
Thrones dead, not Marvel Comics dead.
All right. Well, it worked out okay for the poltergeist chick.
Okay, so what do we know? He said he said she made the portals not work. So it's got to be like Michael was saying that the light goes through the portals, not just bouncing off the mirrors, right?
Yeah, he said that she gave control of the mirrors to various spirits that serve Alula.
Well, I mean, maybe we should open up the lantern shutter and see what shining the light actually does.
Yeah, that's like
Sure.
a really good idea. You do that, I'll be right by the exit.
We've already killed the main person's grandfather.
Oh,
Since-
wait, no, he
And by
fell.
we, I mean Michael.
No one saw what happened. Okay, he tripped. He was a crazy old man in long robes. He had smell of cat pee all over him. I am not being held responsible for this.
I saw what happened.
There's going to be a fisherman who saw what happened. This is going to be drawn out into a sequel.
I saw what happened.
Yeah, I agree with Taryn. Let's open the lamp. Let's open the lantern. Why not?
All right. You
It
open
can't
the
get worse than killing the guy who could have given us the answer.
And was about to.
Yeah, so you unshutter the lantern, and as you sort of would expect, a focused beam of light emits out from it, shooting north, and when it hits that sort of center southern mirror, it just passes through sort of into the world of the mirror, and I have a handy little image in case you can't envision that very well, just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about.
So it goes into that first mirror
Yeah.
that is.
So yeah, rather than
just
reflecting
disappears.
or yeah, exactly. It goes in there and does not come out the other side. Does not reflect. It's like it just gets absorbed into there.
And so what exactly do I see if I look into that mirror, into that portal?
That is a very good question, and I will answer it for you momentarily.
The lantern that we just opened up, is that movable?
No, the lantern is also bolted down. It's almost man-sized itself.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty big. I can't move it. What if I unbolt it?
Do you have any tools or anything with you, like a socket wrench or something?
Yeah, totally. I picked it up at Home Depot on the way out.
This is when your
It-
background as an engineer would come in handy.
I don't have that background. Who has that background? Is anyone an engineer?
I'm a historian, so I could tell you a story about an engineer who once moved something.
I'm a theologian. I can tell you what's exactly wrenching apart Michael's soul right now after he murdered that old man.
Self-doubt and guilt.
Oh no. I'm good with my decision.
Yes, so you, looking into that mirror, you see that there is a single shape within it. It looks like a beautiful male elf, and he seems to be standing in an otherwise featureless plane, but he is actually holding a small hand mirror and just gazing at his reflection.
Hey, buddy.
And
Hey.
the beam of light is passing in there and actually seems to be hitting him, but he doesn't seem to care.
If I look in another mirror, do I see the same thing?
No, as you look in other mirrors, you see other things. I can tell you specifically if you'd like, but you see other stuff as you look in other mirrors.
Okay,
Okay.
so maybe maybe the point of this is the spirits in the portals have to reflect the light. So I'm going to talk to that elf. I'm going to walk up to that mirror, be like, hey,
Okay.
hey, buddy, hey, you with the mirror.
He does not seem to hear you. I'm assuming you're standing by the mirror, but not actually touching it or anything.
Not yet.
Yeah, he does
I
not.
have rocks you can throw at him. Here, throw this rock. Throw this rock.
You know what? I'd rather throw a halfling, but I'm worried he'll just murder that guy too.
Good news, guys. I went in and murdered the elf. That's what you wanted, right?
All right. If I'm looking through this portal, does it appear that this guy is standing right there? Does he appear to be really far away?
He's probably a few yards away, so you couldn't like reach out an arm and poke him on the shoulder. But he's not too far away from you.
Okay. What happens if I very cautiously touch the portal?
Your hand just passes through and enters into whatever world this guy is in.
Does it feel?
Nothing terrible seems to happen.
So I'll pull my hand back out, look at it, kind of poke it again,
Smell your fingers.
do that a couple times.
Yep.
Maybe we have to go talk to that guy, fellas. He's got a mirror. I walk through the portal.
All right. You find yourself in a featureless plane, as previously described. You can see behind you is a mirror-shaped portal through which you can see your companions all watching to see if you die horribly or what. And a few yards in front of you, you see a beautiful elven youth gazing at his reflection in a small hand mirror. And the beam of light that was coming in is now basically just landing on you.
I will walk up to the elven youth and attempt to speak with him. Hey there, fella.
He sort of gives you a haughty look. He turns away for a moment and sort of gives you this look and just looks you up and down and just says, ugh, and flicks his hair and goes back to admiring himself in the mirror.
Can I make an Canis check to back up my player supposition here? Because my guess is that he's supposed to be some sort of spirit that is set to control this thing, and he has to actually reflect the light.
Yeah, so give me an intellect roll with a boon.
11.
All right, yeah, so you ponder for a bit, and you feel that this weird meta-knowledge coming to you from on high is probably fairly sound. But yeah, you think that the devilry at work here is that these spirits have sort of possessed these mirrors, and so in one way or another, any mirror that you want to go back to normal, you'll have to sort of deal with the spirit that is possessing it.
I draw my blade.
All right, you're still outside the mirror. As far as I know, only Tarvis is in there with him.
Yeah, if we break the mirror now, what happens to Tarvis?
Wait,
That's a good
seriously,
question.
who just said kill it? Because I'm pretty sure I heard that.
Maybe that was from inside your own mind.
It's freaking me out. I can't handle it. Ugh.
I mean, if we look at the original room map, like if we want this flame to go all the way around and come in from the north, it's gotta go straight through this mirror. So I would think that we'd want to break the mirror on this side of it, so it goes straight, and then if it hits that next one and then ricochets around, it'll come in from the north.
But it won't.
So if it goes straight through this one and hits the second one right above it, then it'll go left, hit that one, then it'll go all the way up to the top right, and then it'll go to the left one that's right above the main mirror, and then down into the main mirror. Right?
No. If it goes through the one I'm in right now, it'll hit the one above it, which would shoot it to the left,
Right.
then up, and then left again, and then down.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, currently, if all the mirrors were doing what you'd expect, that is what would happen, yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way that it can come in from the north into the main mirror is through that one that's directly above it. And the only way it gets there is from the one to the right. So that one to the bottom left, there's got to be somewhat, maybe there's something in that mirror that has a mirror like this elf guy that we can,
Right.
change
Well, look,
it.
if it goes to the one that I'm in right now and bounces, it would bounce to the right. if it bounces there, it'll hit the one that is 2 squares above that, which would shoot it to the left. If it bounces there, it'll bounce straight north, bounce east again, and if we break the one that is directly below that, it'll go straight into the mirror.
Yeah, that is correct. They're always going to bounce at 90-degree angles.
So here's my theory.
Well, hold on. The old man died, which was an accident. We can all agree on that, right? I mean, we're all on the same page. It's tragic. But we have an elf in the mirror. If you can take his mirror from him, maybe he will talk to you and he can tell you what's going on. Because he's probably been here the whole time.
See, here's my theory. Either the elf has been possessed. It is supposed to be that he stands there with the mirror inside the portal. So he's been possessed and is not doing it properly. Or he himself is the possessing spirit. Like he is a spirit of envy and he has found a mirror. The mirror is supposed to just be floating there. Either way, I'm going to grab the mirror.
All right, you try to grab the mirror from him?
Yup.
Give me an agility roll.
Because this seems like an awesome idea.
We could possibly be wrong.
I'm at a -1 agility, 14.
All right, so you snatch the mirror away, and he immediately turns on you angrily, and he says, I was using that
To do what?
to gaze upon my beauteous reflection, of course.
You're not that pretty, pal.
Well, you're a little too tall for my taste, so there. Now, if you'll kindly give it back and get out of my way.
Let me ask you a question there, buddy. You see this beam of light?
I suppose so, yes.
What do you know about it?
I know that it is impeding my self-appreciation. Look at the way it strikes my lower legs and lower back, but not the rest of me. It's a very unflattering light.
So maybe you should use this mirror to reflect the light away instead of letting it hit you so unflatteringly.
But if I use the mirror to reflect the light, then I can't also use the mirror to appreciate myself.
Aha.
Can we hear him from outside the mirror?
Yeah.
Can we hear this discussion?
Yeah.
So I tell.
We can skin his skin off. That would make him not appreciate it in the mirror.
I tell Tarvis to hold the back of the mirror up to this guy, and I can do a minor magical trick that lets me create an image on a reflective surface. So I create it on the back side of the mirror so he can hold it away from him and still see his own reflection in the back of it.
I do that thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so he holds the mirror facing away, and you create an image of him on the back of the mirror, which he is very pleased by. And he says, this is pretty good, I suppose. What was it you needed me to do?
Stand here and hold this mirror so it bounces the light?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Just get out of my way, if you would.
Sure.
So he falls back into his self-absorption, and those of you outside the mirror now see that it is reflecting light normally, sort of as you would expect, and so it's reflecting light directly to the east.
I attempt to walk back out of the mirror.
Yeah, you make it out without any problem.
Yay!
But so the beam of light is now reflecting directly to that mirror to the east, but it is passing now into that mirror and not going anywhere from there.
So I'll walk over to that mirror and see what I see.
You look into the mirror that is now absorbing the light, that sort of southeastern mirror, and you can see within it, it looks like a witch's hut. And you can see that there's sort of an old crone, a figure of an old crone who appears to be doing some sort of incantations, muttering something to herself over a cauldron of water.
I'm going to go push her in the cauldron.
God damn it!
What do we see? Can we see where the beam of light is going on the other side?
Yeah, it's coming through, just sort of dissipating in the haze of her hut, which is sort of shady and ill.
Is there anything that looks reflective, like that should be reflecting it back out, but it's just in the wrong spot?
Give me, unless you want to go in there to get a closer look, if you're looking in from outside the mirror, give me a perception roll.
Taryn, let's go. Come on. We just got to get this shit done.
I don't see anything.
should probably hurry too, because I don't know how long that reflection is gonna last. Al's probably gonna figure it out.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, buddy.
Yeah, so you're peering in. You see that actually the surface of the water in her cauldron. It looks like it's so smooth as to almost be mirror-like, and she seems to be peering into it at something beyond.
Does the beam of light hit the cauldron, though, or does it go over the cauldron?
No, it passes over the cauldron.
All right, so if we can,
I don't know, man. Let's just go in there and talk to her.
yeah, I'm just gonna head in.
I will
All right.
follow.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see if she addresses us when we walk closer, or what.
I'm also really worried, Scott, that you and I are the most level-headed of this party.
Right.
That's really bothering me right now.
Yeah. An elderly, abusive halfling.
Yeah, I'm actually rolling the body right now, looking through his pockets.
You find a bunch of dead spiders and old stale hard candies.
Nice.
Werther's.
Werther's Originals.
You found all the Werther's, man.
Yeah.
And there's a small an etching of his granddaughter in there too.
Oh.
Hot.
Yeah, I hope you're happy.
All right, so Taryn and I walk up to this old lady.
All right, yeah. So as soon as you step through the mirror, she immediately looks up from her cauldron, and she says, "Who has stepped through my magic mirror? Who dares disturb my scrying?"
We did.
Yeah, it's us. It's Taryn and Tarvis here. Alulu sent us. She's kind of pissed that you're not reflecting the sacred light as she instructed.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
This guy's on it.
Bald-faced, pathetic lies. You know as well as I that Alula instructed me to swallow the light.
She started out with that, and then she totally decided to do something else. She doesn't want the light anymore.
She's actually using it to burn people. She needs you to reflect it out of here.
This guy's got it. What he said.
All I know is that I was told by the great deified one that if I were to follow her instructions, I would have my old powers back, and I do. So I have no need to change.
All right, I think this is a job for Thorn.
Yeah, I got my hand behind my back, signaling Thorn to, all right, go ahead.
Hey, old lady. Just for an academic question, purely theoretical, with no real world application, how did you swallow the light?
Look around you. You can see the light comes in, but it goes nowhere.
So what'd you do? I mean, if you're so powerful now, you could tell me what you did, because I'm pretty curious.
Ha! I am not some young stripling to reveal my secrets to you. Unless you make it worth my while.
What does a worldly witch of your kind desire?
What have you to offer me?
I've got a halfling.
To be my slave forevermore?
Yes,
We
totally.
can work out something.
He's also got some Werthers. Do you like hard candy? He's got all kinds of hard candy.
I do like hard candy, but I like having a slave even more. Give me the halfling, and perhaps I will share with you my secrets.
Can I reach back through the mirror and just grab Thorn?
I was slapping your hand.
You can certainly try.
I try.
Tell Thorn, hey, come on in. It's she's not that bad at all.
No, fuck it. I'm just gonna try to grab him with a. Can I just do a strength check?
Yeah, give me a strength roll, Thorn. It's going to be against your agility as you try to dodge.
I want to help with mind over matter and just try to grab him telepathically.
I got a 16.
I got a 21.
So you grab the halfling and yank him in through the mirror. And
Can I grab him by the foot? I just want to grab him and hold him upside down.
Sure.
Yep.
So you pull him in and you're sort of dangling him by his foot.
All my Werthers fall out of my pockets.
Right, all your candy falls out. And the witch looks greedily at the halfling and says, Yes, he will do quite well as a slave. Give him here.
Are there any stairs nearby?
No, it's sort of a one-level hut. Nothing you could easily trip her down, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a one-trick pony here.
Well, we'll slow down, old lady. This is a two-way street here. I'm not gonna just hand over my halfling if I don't know exactly what you did or have any evidence to support that you can actually do what you claim to do.
Well, I'm not going to tell you all my secrets unless you hand over the halfling.
I'm not going to give you the halfling unless I know you can actually cast the spell. I don't think you can do it. What do you think, Taryn? I think she's lying.
I don't even think she can telepathically move objects like this cauldron, and I lift it up.
All right, you lift the cauldron, and it seems you were able to move it, but it seems like it is heavily magical, and so it sort of resists, but you're able to lift it a few inches off the ground. And she says, "You put that down again!"
Have I hit too close to home?
Put
Perhaps
it down and give me the halfling.
You've given us nothing. We'll let the halfling drown you.
I'd like to see him try.
She won't be the first elderly person he's killed today.
Nor the last.
Very well, halfling. If you think you can fight for your freedom, do it.
I throw Thorn at the old lady.
Thanks for attending the RPG Academy and listening to our podcast. We do this out of love for the hobby and for you, our fans. This podcast and site content will always be free for you to enjoy and utilize.
But we do have expenses related to the show. If you'd like to help out in any way, please visit patreon.com/the RPG Academy and check out the rewards we are providing for your monthly pledges. We will use all funds that come in to improve the show and give you better content and quality.
And if you don't have the coin to spend, don't worry. You can still help us out in numerous ways. One, you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, or you can leave us a 5-star review on iTunes or on Stitcher Radio. Also, if you clear your cookies and then visit Amazon or DriveThruRPG through our portal, we get a kickback from your orders, and it doesn't cost you anything extra.
Just like an RPG, our site works best with open lines of communication. We love talking with our listeners about everything. Please contact us with any questions, concerns, and comments you have. We also love to hear feedback and experiences from your own games. You can email us via podcast@therpgacademy.com, or you can reach us on social media such as Facebook and Google+. We are there under the RPG Academy.
But Twitter is usually the fastest way to reach us. You can find my favorite co-host, Caleb G, at the Caleb G.
And you can find my favorite co-host, Michael, at the RPG Academy.
Thanks for listening, and as always, if you're having fun, you're doing it right.